Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. If you look at the title for this week's Pastor Gary Live segments, you'll find an unusual word, and you can bet that spell check didn't recognize it. I made up the word Wonderables. Let's take a moment and look at what I was attempting to do. And to do that, let's look at the ending first. Able. That suffix means that there's an ability to do whatever the first part of the word is about. The first part of the word is wonder. So my made-up word means that we are able to wonder at something. In this case, we are able to wonder at some words. And indeed, that's what I plan to address this week. There are some words we tend to use around matters of faith, and they are words that are so common and in such general use that perhaps we have taken them for granted. So, this week, I hope to explore them a little bit more deeply with you, and perhaps we will find even more to wonder at in these words. Today we begin with two words, mercy and grace. Now, I'm sure there is enough in each of those words to justify a day of discussion on their own, but I put them together today because sometimes we might think of them as almost the same. Certainly we use them in connected ways, sometimes almost interchangeably. So before we look at the words separately, I want to offer a short and simple way of recognizing the nuance of distinction among those two words. Mercy is not getting what you deserve. Grace is getting what you don't deserve. Now let me slow down and run that by you again. Mercy is not getting what you deserve. Grace is getting what you don't deserve. So mercy from God to us is not getting the punishment that we are rightly due for our sinfulness. We need God's mercy to be sure. Grace, on the other hand, is getting God's love and goodness so generously in spite of the fact that we don't deserve it. Perhaps we might say that in the grace of God, God has mercy on us. We need both. Let's talk about mercy just a bit more, and I want you to think about Judgment Day. As you stand there, guilty and ashamed, you know you have no hope. When sentence is passed, you can only hang your head. And then the officers grab the judge and haul him away to receive your punishment. And as they do, his hood falls back, and you see that it is Jesus. That's the wonder of God's mercy for us. As Frederick Buechner says, the one who judges us most finely will be the one who loves us most fully. Mercy is not getting what we deserve. The love of Jesus sets us free. So now let's also touch on grace just a bit. And to do that, I want to offer a couple of definitions. The first, again by Buechner, reminds us that we are saved by God's grace and God's grace alone. He says, there's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you have to do. When you really think about those three identical lines, you discover grace is an amazing thing. Finally, for today, I'll give you my favorite definition of grace, and I saw it the first time by Philip Yancey. He writes, grace means there is nothing I can do to make God love me more, and nothing I can do to make God love me less. That's powerful and profound. There's nothing I can do to make God love me more. There's nothing I can do to make God love me less. God's love is so abundant, so generous, so overwhelming, so, as the song goes, amazing. Rest and rely on God's mercy and grace. Rest and rely on God's astounding love. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.